What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nathan ELEMENTofFROST, and today we are back here. Jesus, I look terrible. Holy crap. Yeah, no. I'm sorry, guys. Today we are back here doing an episode review of last night's episode of Fear the Walking Dead. This is Season 3, Episode 6, entitled Red Dirt. Now, I thought this episode was very, very solid. Not to mention, we just got info on next week's mid-season finale, which you might think this is only Episode 6. How the hell is it a mid-season finale? Well, that's because, my friend, it is Episode 7 and 8. It's a 2-hour mid-season finale, which I'm pretty freaking excited for. But with that being said, alright, spoilers for this episode, Episode 6, Red Dirt. I'm sorry, if you haven't seen it, go watch it and come back and just enjoy this complexion, because clearly it's just so great. Okay, so I thought this episode was very solid. It had the return, obviously, of Madison and Troy and their whole group, them walking all the way, from the place where they got their boots taken by the natives. And, yeah, I mean, their feet were bad, man. Bloody, and, it's kind of brutal, to be honest. A lot of people were worried about them, including Alicia and Nick. Jeremiah, and Jake basically had confidence in them being able to be okay. They did return home, obviously, with the news that the previous crew did get gunned down. They did get slaughtered by those natives, and they basically explained to them that they wanted their land back, right? I mean, that's pretty basic. They all take the threat very seriously. Most of the community does. Jeremiah and Jake, not so much. They're kind of on the fence about it in a way, because they just realize that, we've dealt with these guys before so many times, how they've wanted our land back in the past, and we've always dealt with it, you know what I mean? We've always come to an agreement. But the thing is, back then, they had lawyers, they had judges, they had the law to follow, and obviously that doesn't apply now. It's the middle of the apocalypse, you know what I mean? So it's either you leave or you die, right? So yeah, they came back with that. I thought it was a very, very awesome scene and an awesome moment when they came back, because, again, you could just see how much they wanted to survive, and Madison just dragging her feet along, and like I said, it looked really freaking brutal. I will definitely say that. Throughout the rest of the episode, we had a ton of things happen, honestly. We had a ton of things happen, down to Alicia learning how to fire a gun, or, getting taught by Jake on how to fire a gun, and they're really starting to prepare for war. Troy really showcased his leadership in this episode by basically getting all of his crew to stand at attention after one of his own, by the name of Mike, left with his family. Vern and Gretchen, I believe, was her name. The girl from the whole smoking weed thing back in the previous episodes. Anyways, yeah, so I mean, that happened, right? We had that happen. We had them leave. They were basically scared. They didn't want to stay there any longer, so they left, and they were just going to abandon the farm, just like the Vern family, right? Just like that one family. Everybody felt very betrayed, especially Jeremiah, basically stating that he was dead to him now, along with, the other two that were already dead, the founding fathers, as they like to call them. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a very solid episode. I really did. We got to see a lot of things happen, down to Vern and them getting killed as well. Suspiciously, or rather, we suspected the natives did it, right? We found, actually, the first sign of it was when Jeremiah woke up from a sleep in Nick's bedroom, because he was sort of drunk and he passed out there. And then he found Vern's horse, which they took with them, right? So, Vern's horse was back at the farm now, even though Vern and everybody wasn't, so that was kind of suspicious. So, Jeremiah, Nick, and Madison actually went looking for Vern and his family, and Gretchen, and, Mike, obviously, which is one of the soldiers that abandoned Troy, and just, Troy really felt that, he was one of, Mike was a very, very good friend, like almost like a brother to Troy in a way, and then he felt abandoned, and Mike didn't really even say goodbye or look at him, you know what I mean? It was definitely low, it was shallow, but either way, they all ended up dead, right? So they found them on the road. Basically, they were all walkers. Jeremiah took out a couple of them. Then we found in the back, his daughter, the Gretchen and Gretchen and a few others eating a horse. So they shot the horse, shot all the walkers as well. Madison struggled there trying to shoot Gretchen because she was similar to Alicia, in her age. Mike was dead there as well. And it really kind of reminded me of some sort of a revenge, you know what I mean? But at the same time, we're suspecting right now that the natives did it, which wouldn't really have been revenge. It would have been just a ruthless sort of killing. And in a way, it sort of worked out for the better. You know what I mean? In a way. Because when they got home, everybody's scared. Everybody wants to go. Everybody wants to leave the farm so they don't have to deal with these guys, right? But Madison, when she got home from this run with Jeremiah and Nicholas, she basically pointed out that if he wanted to come and take the farm, he would have by now, but he can't. He doesn't have the manpower. He doesn't have the firepower. He doesn't have the numbers in people to do that. What he wants us to do is leave family by family so that he picks off every single one as they go. And it's a very, very smart idea. I mean, that would be a brilliant plan if it was him, but it's not. They use it to their advantage. Madison kind of suspects that it's not necessarily the natives who killed Vern and his family. It ends up actually being Troy. Troy went out on a revenge mission. Not necessarily with the intent to kill, but really, he went out to talk to Mike, basically saying, you know, how could you do this? How can you abandon me and everything like this? And he explained to Madison, you know, that it went wrong. You know, something went wrong and it ended up happening. You know, if you kill one person, you're going to have to kill the rest because they're going to know and they're going to tell. You know what I mean? As cold as and as heartless as that sounds, I mean, that's just how it is, unfortunately. So that's why he ended up killing all of them. It was probably a struggle between him and Mike, and, you know, something happened that he just got frustrated and killed Mike, and then obviously that leads to him having to kill everybody else, right? So Troy did do it, but I don't know, man. I don't think he's hopeless, you know what I mean? I think there's a lot of things going on in Troy's head right now, including this relationship with Madison that's going on. It's like a motherly type of thing, and I think it's really special. I think Madison sort of has him wrapped around her finger in a way. You know, he sort of cowers to everything that she says. He's kind of like a puppy dog in a way, you know what I mean? But at the same time, he's a strong dog. In a way to actually lead a team of his own. You know, he actually commands his own team. And, like I said, he stood everybody at attention down in the cellar, you know, down in the supplies room, basically saying, you know, we have to make sure that the people upstairs do not get slaughtered. We have to defend them with our lives, or this is all going to go to shit. This is all we have. This farm, this ranch is all that we have, and we have to protect that with our life. And Madison sort of talked about that group as sort of a militia, which that's definitely what it is. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily a well-grouped bunch of soldiers. It seems like every time I do these videos, motorbikes just happen. You know what I mean? Like, I don't hear one the entire day, and then it just, you know, boom, record, done, motorbike. Anyways, though, I think a militia, the name for a militia is much more appropriate for this group because they're not even necessarily soldiers, you know what I mean? They're not all, they don't all have military experience, you know? They're sort of just a group of survivors, in a group now, basically, and they're armed to the teeth. They really are. Like, the armor is very impressive. Anyway, so I mean, that happened, right? We get to see a whole bunch of that. Alicia learning how to as well, trying to get taught by Jake. Jake wants to go out and actually talk to the natives and basically work something out. And then when Alicia finds out that the natives might have killed Vern's family, she ends up actually starting to pack a bag, and she's going to go out there as well. So she didn't go out in this episode, but she was getting ready to go out. So I'm assuming probably the beginning of next episode or whatever. Yeah, she's going to go after Jake, probably try to stop him before something happens to him. You know, obviously she still thinks that they killed Vern and his family. Obviously what she doesn't know is that was Troy. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely interesting. I can't wait to see, honestly, where it goes. It's a very brief episode review. You know, this is how I sort of like doing them now. I used to do like 40-minute recaps, and it's not worth it. You know what I mean? You guys can watch the episode, right? Or read the recap on AMC.com, which, by the way, there's a link in the description below if you guys want to check it out. You know, it's sort of just me giving my opinions on some key things that happened in the episode. And, you know, definitely for me, one of those key things was that whole situation with Troy killing Vern's family and Madison ending up finding out about it rather. The next day, actually, Nick also sort of confronted Troy about it, not necessarily, but he came up to him when everybody was training, basically said, you know, I want to learn too. I want to help protect this place, right? And Troy basically says, you know, why do you want to become part of this militia? And he basically says, you know, I want to defend this place. I want to get, I want to defend my family, you know, from the people who want to take this place, because this place is great. And then he also pointed out at the very end, he was like, I also want to get revenge on Vern and his family. I think he put it in another way, and like Mike or whatever, you know, for killing our friends. But nonetheless, you know, he sort of dropped a little hint. You know, he knows that Troy's the one who did it, you know, and so does Madison, obviously. But he doesn't want to outright say it, you know what I mean? He sort of just wants to slyly put it to him to basically say, I know, you know, sort of what you did, but not say it outright, you know? Because at the end of the day, I don't know. I think a lot of things that Troy does is better for the group. Not necessarily this thing that he did. You know, this was sort of just for him. And the way he put it, like I said, I think he was very sorry about it. You know, I think it was an accident. And it just got out of control, got out of hand. And I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, I think what Troy does mostly, I think is really, really good. I think that, most times he has things in his mind that are very, very good for the group, including leading this militia. I think they need him. I don't think that there's another leader there that would really benefit the militia as much as Troy, because no one really has the skill and the tactics and the survival awareness as Troy. He does whatever it takes in order to survive and in order to protect his people, you know? And I think that's what you need. I think that's what you need in today, in that world, right? So anyway, thank you all so much for watching today's episode review video of Season 3, Episode 6, entitled Red Dirt of Fear the Walking Dead. I really do appreciate it. 2-hour mid-season finale next week. Hopefully you guys will be tuning in. I sure as hell will be. Make sure you guys tune into my episode predictions for that episode, which will be Episode 7 and 8, but I only have a title for Episode 7, which is Season 3, Episode 7, entitled The Unveiling. Yeah. Make sure you tune in on Thursday. I'm going to give that a go at trying to predict it, because we don't have a lot to go on right now. Hopefully we get some more things in the next couple of days that would really help out the episode prediction. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye.